Hi, this is Rich Formidoni from Korg USA. I'm here at craftmusic.com and we're playing with the Wavedrum. Now, if you're thinking about getting a Wavedrum, you should definitely take a look at craftmusic.com because they're going to set you up with a bundle that has all the accessories you need to make the most out of the playing experience. So let's check it out and see what the Wavedrum has to offer. The Wavedrum Dynamic Percussion Synthesizer is a revolution in drumming. Rather than triggering sounds with a rubber pad or a mesh head, you're actually playing a real 10-inch fiber skin drum head. It's replaceable, it's tunable, it comes with a tuning key, so you can adjust it to affect the way the Wavedrum responds to your playing. The other thing is, instead of just triggering samples, you can actually trigger computer-generated models of the drum that you select. So, for example, here's a snare drum. Now, as I play in the middle, you get a wide open tone. And as I play nearer to the rim, it's a little more closed off, just like it would be on the natural instrument. And just like the real instrument, you can not only play with sticks, you can play with brushes as well. So even with the lightest touch, you can hear the sound coming from the Wavedrum. This is because it's actually listening to the way that you play. Instead of just triggering a sound, there are 4 sensors, 2 piezo transducers here, a third one here, and a pressure sensor beneath the head. They listen to what you play and use an acoustic impulse from your performance to drive the synthesis engine beneath. So not only can you get some very realistic sounds with sticks, it responds extremely well to hand playing as well. Now, as you may have noticed there, I just triggered a sitar sound by playing the rim. The rim has its own set of DSP synth algorithms and samples that it can play back, and that's entirely separate from the head. So with that in mind, you can play some sounds that have multiple instruments on different velocity layers and on different areas of the instrument itself. And just by adding some pressure to the head, I can add some synth textures to the performance. So let's play around with a few more natural hand instruments. For example, here's a djembe. So if you hit it wide open in the middle, you get the full resonance of the shell. And if you hit it closer to the rim, you get authentic slap sounds. And just like the real thing, add a little pressure after an open hit and you can change the pitch. You can even mute it the same way you'd mute the real instrument. So there's no learning curve here. You can play the drums exactly like you'd play the actual instrument. So let's jump over to a conga sound and I'll show you the same thing with a slightly different variation. So all the natural gestures that you would normally use on the real instrument are present there. You can tune this drum, you can change the material that it's made of. All kinds of different edits are available to you right from within the top panel here. Like any Korg instrument, the Wavedrum is very easy to operate. Right here on the front panel, you can see these 4 buttons, 1 through 4, and the bank button, which gives you banks A, B, and C. Each one of these 3 banks can hold 4 preset sounds, so you can get to them very quickly when you're playing live. So just select a bank, push one of the buttons, and you've got a new sound ready to go. To save a sound once you've edited, you can just use the right button right here. Press it once, choose a location, and press right again, and it's saved. You can do all of your editing right from this panel. Hold down the bank button, and you can switch between Edit 1, Edit 2, and Global Mode. And all of these different modes will have options to customize the sound. Global Mode also gives you options to play along with a loop. So you can dial up different loops here and get a feel for how they sound. And some of them are useful as metronomes as well. So the great thing is you're not just limited to the way the preset sounds are. There are 100 different presets and there's room for 100 of your own. So for example, you could call up this conga model and decide, all right, I want it to be tuned down 3 whole steps. You could do that without even having to tune the head. You could also decide, I want the shell to be this thick or made of wood or metal and have this much resonance. So all of these different elements are customizable based on the drum model that you choose. So let's explore a few more sounds. In addition to sticks and hands, you can also hit the Wavedrum with mallets, and that works extremely well with our timpani model. So on the rim, you've got a big orchestral crash. And by adding pressure, you can tune the timpani, just like you would with a pedal on the real thing. In addition to natural acoustic instruments, the Wavedrum is also really great at expanding your sonic horizons. There's loads of clever synthesis in here that'll keep you mind-boggled for days. While there's lots of conventional hand percussion in here, you'll also find some ethnic instruments from all over the world. So, for example, here's an udu, or a clay pot. On the back of the Wavedrum, you'll find 2 1/8-inch jacks. The first one is an auxiliary input. That lets you plug in an MP3 player, any other musical source, including another Wavedrum. So if you want a dual conga setup, just plug one into the other, detune one, and you're good to go. The second one is a headphone jack, so you can plug in your favorite set of headphones and practice quietly. So the Wavedrum, no matter what sound you call up, will change the way you think about percussion. It's unlike any other electronic percussion instrument in the world, and it is just waiting for you to discover its potential. Remember, if you pick it up from craftmusic.com, check out their bundles for all the accessories you could possibly need. Thanks for watching.